والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا ونور قلوبنا وقرة أعين محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. نوينا التعلم والتعليم وتذكر وتذكير والنفع والانتفاع والإفادة والاستفادة والحث على التمسك بكتاب الله وسنة رسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم ودعاء إلى الهدى ودلالة على الخير ابتغاء وجه الله ومرضاته وقربه وثوابه سبحانه وتعالى مع لطف وعافية برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب الصافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب الصافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. اللهم إنا نسألك علما لدني ومشرب الصافي الهاني يا وهاب يا غني. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله. Um, okay, Alhamdulillah, we are on point number, we finished point number five, we should done point number five. We are on to point number six, inshallah. Next so now I want to give second point number one نستفيد ونلتقط العبر والعظات وتجا وتجارب من كل ما يمر بنا في حياتنا. That is number five. Number five, that we take benefit also in the lessons and reminders and experience from everything that occurs to us in life now. Right? And so that and that for us to live life consciously. That is part of your etiquette with your own self. Etiquette with your own self. That you live your life consciously. You don't just go through things, go through methods, go through events and issues and even problems in life, and then not take any lessons. And you miss the point. You miss the entire thing. Right. And some of them they have said that some of them like in fact when they go through the experiences, like they actually imagine like if their death had happened at that point in time. They actually imagine that if their death had happened, at that point in time, or that happened, just after that, and then they imagine to themselves like are they ready? Like are they ready to pass away? With these experiences, mashallah. Right. And of course we know that many people they go through changes or transformations in their lives because of near death experiences. Right. So mashallah. So for us to just uh, uh, for us to uh to take into account, right? Into account that if these experiences would be our last experiences in life, right? So how would you have wanted to change your life before they become your last experiences in their life, right? Subhanallah. Right. So and then so after that he says the next point number six, number five, number six. And number six, ونرتب وننظم كل منا مصارف دخله و ليضمن صرفها في المكان المناسب ويصرف فيما هو أولى. Okay, so number six, right, we plan to organize as to how we spend our income, right, to ensure that it is spent in the best way and the most appropriate way. Okay, this is a very big point, mashallah. As an etiquette to yourself as well. And it's all, your akhlaq for your own self. Right. So it is, incumbent upon the believer to not just spend your money without thinking like where your money goes. And subhanAllah, especially in our zaman, and whereby there are things that are so exorbitantly very expensive, right? And it's expensive only because of the brand. And I think it's the most ridiculous thing in our zaman. It is the most ridiculous thing in our zaman that people spend a lot of money, right? On things that are just for the brand. Now, if you're buying something for quality, yes, but then again, ask yourself if it's worth it, right? The kind of pricing or the kind of amount that you spend on these things. A lot of it we know it's just the way the system works. They check up the prices and they put like a brand on it. It's just they're just duping and just deceiving the population. And then there are people who fall into it, and many people fall into it. Unfortunately, many people fall into it. It does not have to be that expensive, right? But it's just the way these corporations work, right? So it's really, you look at your income, and this income is not yours, right? This is our first akhlaq with ourselves. Your income is not yours, and your income is an amana. It is a trust from Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Allah gave you this rizq, and Allah gave you this income, and Allah's testing you. It's a test, right? It's a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah's testing you. Where and how, will this income, be spent, right? And on a day of judgment, is one of the questions that will be asked, of people. Like, where did they, earn their income? It's a question that will be asked. And where did you spend it? Right? Two questions will be asked about your income, about your risk, and your risk that you gain. Like, where do you earn it? Like, see if it's halal, the sources. Like, what have you been doing, like, to earn this money? And where have you been spending this money? Right? To see if it's and then Allah will judge you. Allah will judge you where you spend the money. And I think we mentioned this earlier. I'm not sure in this class or another class, like, whereby how do you answer? And how do you answer in the world? And whereby so many people, like, are suffering, and that money can be used in so much in such a in a better way. Then how can you answer, right, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? When He subhanahu wa ta'ala, how do you answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in buying things, or in going for holidays, or in going for, high end, like high end hotels, or in going for like all this very expensive, lifestyle, all these forms of luxury, and splurging, literally splurging the amount of money. How do you answer, dear judgment? I don't know. I don't know. How do you answer? I don't know. I don't know how. I don't know. I just don't know. For me, it's scary. For me, it's scary. And when I look at the money that I have in my hands, and then I think of what I spend on, and I make sure that on the day of judgment I can account for it. I mean, I can answer to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, why do you buy this? Why do you buy that? Why do you have to have so many, pieces of clothing? Why do you have to have so many hijabs? Why do you have to, that day I was telling her Baba about how in our countries, that they have this really crazy expensive hijabs. I can't remember what's the brand, but it's so expensive. I remember someone was telling me about it, that they released the hijab. It's a hijab. It's a hijab. Come on. You can buy a hijab easily, for like, $10. You can buy it for 20, even maybe max $20 if you want to buy a nicer one. Like, but they have this thing, right, whereby they release it, and in a few minutes it stepped up. And the hijab cost like in the hundreds, I think, in the hundreds of dollars. How in the world are you going to answer for the day of judgment? I don't know. I don't know. Like, spending a few $100 on one piece of hijab. I don't know how you're gonna answer for that on the day of judgment. Like, I don't. I can't think of a reason. I can't think of a reason how that can be justified at all. At all. And I know of someone also. Her jubbas. Her some interest, and it costs like $500, $600. How, ya Allah. So here, you need to plan and organize how you spend your income, and to ensure that you spend in the best way and the most appropriate way. You're not allowed to just splurge your income. You're not allowed to, okay, actually. People think, oh, it's my money, I can do what I want to do with my money, as long as I don't buy the haram. You're not actually allowed to go and splurge your income, right? Because you have to answer for it. You have a question for it, right? So there was once I had a friend, one of my students, she works as a housing agent. And the thing about our religion is that um, the sign of religiosity, it is the sign of religiosity is detachment from the dunya, not having so much dunya, detachment. right, from the dunya. And you will see this over and over again in the righteous, in the companions, in the scholars. Yes, they were rich in a sense that their income was very high, right? But their charity was very, very high, right? In fact, some of them, the charity was even higher than their income, right? So for the companions. So people be like, oh, yeah, well, so many companions are rich, so many companions are, yes, they were rich, but have you ever heard of them splurging on themselves? Right? Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, he was very rich. Sayyidina Abdurrahman bin Auf was very rich. Sayyidina Khadija, she was very rich. But have you ever seen her house? You know, the image of Sayyidina Khadija's house. Do you think Sayyidina Khadija goes around splurging on herself? At all? No, never. Right? But she spends all her money in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very rich, but in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And all of the income goes to the da'wah. That's all it is. So it is a sign of religiosity. How much you see that you want to splurge on yourself, and how much you spend in the way of Allah's religion, right? So rich doesn't mean that, oh, rich, so therefore, I'm going to push on myself. No, if someone can be rich, yes, in Islam, yes. Then the money is a bigger amana. Then you have a bigger trust. Spend it on in the way Allah Subhanahu wa Taala wants of you, right? So anyway, I had this student who was a housing agent, and she just and she, 'cause she herself, she does admit, that she has, she has her own luxuries and stuff like that, that she goes for. But she considers herself, still struggling, trying to be better in her religion. But in a sense, she said she has gone to, like as some of her clients. She was asking me this question because she was trying to I think she was trying to reconcile in herself, right? That about certain things. So she just asked me. She was like, she has some clients who are like they teach a religion, they teach a religion, and they are asatiza and so on and so forth. Right? And she goes to their house to handle their housing and everything, right? And then she was like, and she said sometimes in her heart, she will see things in the house, or because it's your client, right? In her, she won't say any names to me, but she will say that she will see that they drive very expensive high end cars, and they have very expensive, high end, things in the house, and they're very expensive. So she was like, and she knew that they are Asatiza. They didn't know anything else, right? They are Asatiza. And she'd be like, it's just like she was trying to reconcile. How do I, like, she can't, it didn't sit with her that someone who is preaching the religion, that you are preaching the religion, and yet, like you're so obsessed or like, to spend that kind of money, especially in Singapore, on a high-end car, because we know that we know how much it costs. And we all know how much it costs. We buy a high-end car, just the COE itself, and the COE itself is like the hawla wala quwwata illa billah. And the car itself, the kind of money, we know the kind of money that goes in there. And I said, maybe they have their own business and they earn that kind of money and they want to spend. And she said, yeah, yeah, she understands. It's not that saying that it's wrong that they're doing it, right? But she's like, you know, being people of the religion, if you're preaching the religion, she felt, that there is like, it doesn't go. It doesn't go. If you're preaching to people about the akhirah and you're saying to people, work for the akhirah, work for the akhirah, work for the akhirah. Dunya is nothing. It is true. Dunya is nothing. Give out the dunya. This is the way of our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That is his way. That is his way. The way of his daughter, Fatima Zahra. That is their way. Right? So if that's what you're, that's the whole religion. That is the whole religion. It is. Right? The whole religion is like that. Right? So and I said to her, I can't answer for them. I don't know. But it's not something I would do. Because I mean, really, you look at the price of these cars, and like I don't know the name of the cars, but those are really high end cars. I don't know the name, but this car like very. She was saying to me some names. She was like she's seen them. These Atatizas, they drive these kind of cars, and I said I don't know. I don't know. Maybe someone gifted to them. I don't know. It was a gift from someone, and so on and so forth. And I said I don't know the who's one with them. Right, but I know for myself personally, like it's questioned. It is questioned, right? And if you want to move into a more religious lifestyle, you have to ask yourself, and are all of these things, like are these things can you validate all of these things that you're spending on? Right. So Habib says, we plan, we organize how we spend our income to ensure that it is spent in the best and the most appropriate way. Right. You need to, in a sense, hold yourself to account before you are held to account. In a sense, I literally account. I account for it, do some accounting. Okay. I do some accounting with regards to your money. Every month, look at where it goes. Right. What are you spending on? Like where does your money go? What are you splurging on? What is unnecessary that you're purchasing? And what is way too expensive? Is this all justified? In the day of judgment, can you justify all of these things in a world whereby that we are in the country in Singapore, we're in a country where around us there's so many poor people around us, even in our own country itself, so many poor people, subhanallah, so much poverty, right? Subhanallah. So we need to question that, right? Question that and don't just say, it's okay, what? It's okay, what? No, it's not okay. It is not okay. I'll say frankly, right out, it is not okay. It is not okay, right? And it is said that the rich, they will enter into the rich who do enter into paradise, they will enter into paradise 7,000 years after, or 70 years after the poor enter into paradise. Why? Because they have so much to answer for. There is so much to answer for, right? So don't think that all of these things you get off scot free. All will be questioned. One after another, they'll be questioned. Wow, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Like, may Allah make it easy for us. Like there's a story here that Hawa mentions, about, and see, this is the story about Sheikh, Al-Kaf, but he was a very rich trader. But him being a rich trader, right, he was also very generous, right, who give out in his wealth. And this is the thing about richness in Islam, that in the history of Islam, when you speak about those who have been rich, very rich people, they give out a lot of their wealth. Like you would even say they give out, and you don't say a lot in the sense of number, but in a sense of percentage, right? Percentage, right? So let's say now I've got a Siddiq, let's say now Abu Siddiq, mashallah, of the percent of his money that he gives out is 100%. He gives her 100% of his wealth. So now I've got a Siddiq. So it's not about like, like 1 million, 2 million, or, it's, wow, so much. No, it's somebody, there's a story about one of the habaib, the mashayikh, like whereby he was this is the story of the son of Shaw bin Salim. Like, I'll go into the story first, but I'll later on, but I'll go into the story first. Like, so the son of Shaw bin Salim, Sheikh Hussein bin Salim, like, who was very rich. He's a very rich person. Right? But again, they have no concern about their wealth. They have no concern about getting more and more wealth. Allah gives them, Allah gives them. But there's a story about someone coming to his house, and he served this person. He served this person so much, subhanallah. Um, of his wealth, he served the person. And the person was just so amazed, by how generous, right, he is. And then she was telling him, said to him, that if you are amazed, right, by how generous I am, you first see my brother. My brother is way more generous than me. Right. So that this person was like, he was intrigued. Right. So he said, I want to go and see your brother and see how generous is your brother. So he went to see my brother's in Tarim, he goes to Tarim and see my brother there. So he goes to his brother in Tarim, and the brother like welcomed him, and just for that night, served him half a piece of bread. Half a piece of bread. Right. And that was it. That was all there was. So he was really, like confused because the other brother said that this brother is way more generous. So of course they all are awliya, they can read the hearts. And so the other brother said to him, I bet you are wondering, why my brother probably told you that I'm more generous than him when he gave you, like so much for your dinner last night, right? And I only give you half a piece of bread. And he said, well, see, my brother, he's very rich, and what he gave you is only a fraction of his wealth. It's only a fraction. And for me, all I own tonight is this piece of bread. I give you half. I said, you half my wealth, and I left the other half of my family. Like, so, so comparative, like, or comparatively, right, he was more generous, right? It depends on your percentage, of how much you give out, because that's how much Allah gave you. Okay, if Allah gave you the kind of income, How much of it goes out in charity? I don't look at the number, but look at the percentage. Right. And I know of people like they will give out, maybe $100 in charity, maybe, maybe even 1,000 in the grand charity. But then they have no issue spending or splurging 3,000, on a holiday. The charity, lesser holiday, they will just splurge on the holiday. No issue in doing that. All will be questioned there. All will be questioned in your judgment. Right. So it is your duty. It is your duty to plan and organize how you spend your income. Right, to ensure that what is spent is the best and the most the best and the most appropriate in the most appropriate way. Right, that you do not and if you view your wealth as Allah's wealth, okay, if you change your mindset and you view that wealth in your hands as Allah's wealth, then you will then it will change how you use it. If you can see it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad. Allah. Okay, and the next, the one about Shia Al-Kaf, I was mentioning just now. How about we tell the story about Shia Al-Kaf? He was a very rich trader in Tarim past, and he would give out so much of his wealth in charity to the point people loved whenever he came to Majlis because he would just give and give and give and give. And the people are poor, they're poor in the first place. So there was once, and that so there was once, uh, that the sheikh, he saw that that the students were very amazed, by by him always giving out so much wealth. But the sheikh, he knew that Sheikh Al-Kaf himself had a terrible illness, right, on his body, in an open wound. Right. So he wants this his student and tell them, and do you want to take all would you like to exchange positions with Sherika? Like be in his shoes, like for one day, and he takes your position for you for one day, and you can be super, super rich, in one day. And he takes your position. And a lot of them were like, yeah, yeah, we don't mind, just in exchange. And he said, a full exchange, and take whatever that he has, and he takes whatever that you have, right? Subhanallah. And then they'll say, yes, we would like to. Right? So then when the sheikh came, the teacher said to the sheikh, he said to the sheikh Al-Kaf, the people here have agreed to take whatever you have if you in exchange for whatever they have. So the sheikh was like, are you sure? Right? So he began to remove his that he stood up his shirt. Then he removed there was like a like a cloth that was around his stomach, and he removed the layers of the cloth, and then he revealed, and there was an open wound right on his stomach. It's an open wound that was just been there for a very long time. And he said that, do you want this together with all of my wealth? Like, subhanallah. And all of them were like, no, 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 no. You would rather have poverty and have good health than to have all that wealth and to suffer like that, the kind of illness. And subhanallah, it was a lesson like that. Subhanallah, don't always think that you want more and more and more and more wealth. No, right? Allah Subhanahu He gives, Allah Subhanahu He takes, and the whole issue is how you spend it on a day, and how you're gonna answer for it on a day of judgment, right? Subhanallah, how are you gonna answer, right, for splurging or for whatever you spend on a day of judgment? May Allah make us May Allah make it easy for us, inshallah. And when the more you spend the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do not be afraid. And don't be scared if you spend what you spend the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not be afraid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you better. If not in this dunya, then in the akhirah. May Allah will give you better, inshallah. And alhamdulillah. Um okay. We will stop there, inshallah. Uh Alhamdulillah. Then we'll go into the next one next time around about far-sighted and prepare ourselves for the future. So it's very important, this part. Right, but inshallah tomorrow I will. They're all important. They're all important. Right. This entire akhlaq, our khuluquna ma'anfusina is just like Habib just gives us like a whole, like how do you handle your life? Like how do you handle your life? Mashallah, mashallah. Alhamdulillah. Um, yeah, there's a few questions here. Let me see. Um, so question here is your siblings are rude to your parents and you can't really say anything. Well, if you have already said what you can say and they're not gonna listen, then I mean, in a sense that it is sitting, when people have no religion, they're not studying the religion, they don't know that what they're doing is wrong, right? And if you try and advise them, they reject it. There's an entire calamity of not studying the religion. It is a calamity of not studying the religion. Studying the religion makes you a better person. It does. It does. So if they are like that, then I mean, there is their test. Is their test. They're not treating their parents well, and they're being rude to their parents, and they can't take the advice from anyone. What you can do is to see if there's anybody, if there's anybody around you, there, an uncle or I don't know, auntie, somebody, just look for somebody who can talk to them. Right? If there's anyone who can talk to them, that will not be so rude. Or ask your mother herself to tell them to not be so rude. But if they want to remain being rude, then it's just like it's their that that is their test. It is their test. They have to, change themselves. We can't change people. We can't force them to change. And if they want to be the way they want to be, you can say what you want to say, and they'll fight back, and they'll argue, and they'll do what they want to do. Then khalas, you can't force people, especially if they're adults. They're adults, khalas. They're adults. If they want to choose this kind of lifestyle, and this kind of words against your own mother, and be so rude at this age, لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Right? It is a calamity of our zaman that people are not studying the religion, because if they were studying the religion, they would know, the correct way to treat their parents and the correct way to have, to be with other people. Right? Um, the question about selling products that are halal, but it's not healthy. Then make it healthy lah. Mhm. And produce be those kind of people. Nowadays, there's an entire market of people selling healthy products. Sell healthy products, right? Make it healthy if you want to. It's up to you. Mm. But then again, you said that it's people's choice. It is people's choice. If they want to buy it, they buy it, right? Maybe they buy it once in a while. Huh? um, yeah. So basically, basically the entire point is for this lesson, right? Is you just have to know how you're gonna answer for a day of judgment. Right? So if you have a good reason why you're doing certain things, you know, like you want to be near your parents, you have answer. If you can answer. So we're saying, that's what we're saying. If you can answer for a day of judgment, go ahead. Right? So we're not judging anybody in what you do. As long as you can answer for a day of judgment, and each of you will know what you can answer for. You know why you do what you do. Okay. So if you get to a bigger house, you be near your parents. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that if you can answer for their judgment, go ahead. You can answer for it. And then everyone be their own judge. Like you all be your own judge. And no one's gonna judge you except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah will judge you. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows exactly your situation. And nobody else knows exactly your situation. Right? MashaAllah. Um I would say that, the question about like if someone gets worse in terms of their deen when it uh when it with hardship, it's a sign of weak iman. I would just say, don't I'll say, just come for classes, honestly, frankly. Like for me personally, like going for class every single day, having class every single day, it helps you a lot in getting to life. It grounds you, it centers you, it gives you focus, it gives you clarity. You know, do that. Just do that. It's only when we go day to day without reminders of the akhirah and reminders of our religion, reminders of our duty as Muslims. That is when we go astray. Like, we become easy prey to shaitan. Easy prey to shaitan. Right? Subhanallah. Right. So, uh, uh, if you say Sayyidina Abdul Rahman bin Auf, right, wanted the charity, wanted to remove his business, wanted for his family, right? It's not that he's doing it for comfort and luxury at all. He's not. He's not, right? Sayyidina Abdul Rahman bin Auf, they might have said that Allahu Alam, Allahu Alam about the numbers that you just gave. But as far as we know, the Sahaba, they never live in luxury. They live, yeah, they never live in luxury. Sahaba. They don't. They don't. Okay. Right. Now, if you want to help someone in debt, they're worried you might be supporting them. And then make your intentions. Make your intentions. And then just, you can help them out. Right. You will know from their character. You'll know from their character, from how they are, the sincerity. Just help them out. Right. If you can just pay off the debt and they owe you if you want, up to you. It's up to you. And so this not the question is very big because it lies a lot on the character of the person that you are helping, right? You have to see the character of the person. So it depends, right? It depends on the character of the person, right? If you know if they will be if they're just gonna abuse you or make use of you, or if they're really sincere and they really need some help to get back on their feet, right? So only you can judge, right, what it is. So, okay, inshallah, we'll start with today. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والفاتحة وفي المعاملة خاصة المرسلين سلام الهدى والسلام والسلام وأرواح العالمين ومشايخنا وزودك علينا إلى حوض النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم الفاتحة السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته